Hi everyone. Welcome to Foundations of New Media Technologies. I'm so excited to start this journey with you as we explore how new media technologies have reshaped our digital world. So, what exactly are new media technologies? Think of everything from social media apps like TikTok and Instagram, to streaming platforms like Netflix and Spotify, even to AI tools like ChatGPT. All of these are part of new media technologies that influence how we communicate, create, and consume content today. Throughout this course, we'll dive into the historical trajectory. That's just a fancy way of saying we'll look at the journey from analog to digital. Remember cassette tapes? VHS? Yep, we're going there. We'll see how we moved from old-school formats to today's digital platforms. We'll also explore big technological revolutions, like the rise of the internet, smartphones, and now, artificial intelligence. These revolutions didn't just change our devices. They transformed our behaviors, cultures, and industries. And don't worry, we won't just memorize timelines. We'll also look at theoretical frameworks, ideas and models that help us understand why and how these changes happen. For example, ever heard of media convergence? That's when different media forms merge, like watching news, chatting, and shopping all on one app. We'll also ask tough questions. Is technology controlling us? Or are we shaping it? That's the debate between technological determinism and social constructivism. You'll be an expert in no time. So get ready. Let's build a nuanced understanding of how technology and society influence each other in this fast-paced, connected world. Let's begin our adventure in new media technologies. Hey everyone! Let's dive into the evolution from analog to digital, a journey that completely reshaped how we create, share, and consume media. First stop, pre-1980s. Back then, analog media was king. We listened to music on vinyl records, captured moments with film photography, got news from print newspapers, and watched shows on broadcast television. Everything relied on physical carriers, meaning information had to be stored on tapes, paper, or film. No internet, no cloud. Just tangible media in your hands. Now fast forward to the 1980s and 1990s, this is when the digital transition begins. We said goodbye to vinyl and hello to CDs. Digital cameras started replacing film rolls. And the arrival of early personal computers, plus the birth of the World Wide Web, introduced a whole new way of experiencing media. Suddenly, we could consume and produce digital content like never before. Finally, from the 2000s to today, we've been living through a full-blown digital transformation. Physical media? Mostly gone. We stream music and movies instead. Smartphones are everywhere, our cameras, computers, and TVs all in one. And with cloud computing, we can access files, photos, and videos anytime, from any device. So from analog dominance to digital transformation, this evolution shows how technology has changed the way we connect with the world. Alright, everyone. Now that we've seen how media evolved, let's move on to defining new media. So, what is new media, really? First, it's all about its digital nature. New media is built on digital technology, which means everything, text, images, video, is turned into binary code, those famous zeros and ones. This digital nature lets us copy, edit, and share content perfectly and instantly. For example, you can duplicate a photo, remix a song, or upload a video, and it still looks just as good. Next, new media is interactive and participatory. Unlike traditional media, which is one way, like TV or newspapers, new media is a two-way street. It's interactive. You can comment, share, like, and even create your own content. That's what makes it participatory. On TikTok or YouTube, you're not just a viewer, you're a content creator too. Finally, new media is networked and convergent. It lives in interconnected systems like the internet. This networked structure helps content spread fast. Think viral memes. And it's convergent, meaning different media forms, text, audio, video, all come together. like a podcast on Spotify with video clips and listener comments. So remember, new media is digital, interactive, networked, and convergent. And that's what makes it so powerful and so different. Now let's talk about one of the most important game changers in media history, the World Wide Web. Globe showing Europe-Africa. This key technological revolution transformed how we connect, learn, shop, and share. We start in 1989 to 1991, the birth of the web. Tim Berners-Lee invented HTML, HTTP, and the very first web browser. These tools laid the foundation of the modern internet. No web apps yet, but the structure was ready. Then in 1993 to 1995, we see the rise of browsers and commercialization. Browsers like Mosaic and Netscape Navigator made it easy for everyday people to browse websites. Suddenly, the web wasn't just for scientists, it was for everyone. Businesses began building their online presence. Next up, 1998 to 2000, the era of search and e-commerce. Google came in and completely revolutionized information discovery. No more scrolling through directories, you could search anything. Meanwhile, Amazon, eBay, and others became e-commerce giants. But remember the dot-com bubble? So many web startups popped, and then popped. Finally, from 2004 to today, we enter Web 2.0 and beyond. This is where things really take off. Social media, user-generated content, and cloud computing dominate. You're not just reading the web, you're creating it. And now with AI, the web even learns your preferences and personalizes your experience. So from HTML to hashtags, from Netscape to Netflix, that's the World Wide Web revolution. Let's zoom in on one of the biggest shifts in our daily lives, the mobile revolution. Mobile phone rocket. We begin with early mobile devices, from the 1990s to 2006. Back then, mobile phones were mainly for calls and texts. But soon they became feature phones, adding simple games, calendars, and even basic internet. One big name? BlackBerry. It pioneered mobile email with physical keyboards and those tiny screens. For professionals, it was a dream. Next comes the smartphone emergence, from 2007 to 2012. In 2007, the iPhone changed everything. It introduced a multi-touch interface, the App Store, and sleek, intuitive design. Suddenly, phones were more like pocket computers. Then came Android, bringing competition and making smartphones accessible to everyone. This created a mobile computing duopoly, iOS versus Android. From 2013 to today, we're in the age of mobile-first computing. Smartphones aren't just devices, they're our main connection to the world. People check emails, scroll social media, stream videos, and even work, all from their phones. This shift led to mobile-first design, where apps and websites are built for phones first, not desktops. So that's the mobile revolution, from chunky keypads to AI-powered touchscreens. It's changed how we live, work, and play. Now let's talk about something that quietly supercharged our online lives, the broadband revolution. Before broadband, we had dial-up. Remember that screeching sound when connecting to the internet? It was slow and clunky. But when we transitioned from dial-up to broadband, everything changed. The digital experience became faster, smoother, and more fun. With early broadband, we could finally enjoy basic multimedia, like downloading songs or watching low-res videos, without waiting forever. But as broadband got faster, so did the internet. Higher speeds made streaming video, cloud gaming, and video conferencing possible and popular. Think about it, without broadband, there'd be no Netflix binges, no YouTube rabbit holes, and no Zoom classes or meetings. Broadband infrastructure is the backbone of these platforms. It allows us to watch HD videos, play online games with friends across the world, and have real-time virtual conversations, all without major lag. So yes, the broadband revolution may not be flashy, but it's what made today's digital world possible. High-speed internet equals high-speed innovation. Alright, let's explore one of the coolest ideas in media studies, media convergence. So, what is media convergence? It's the coming together of technologies, industries, audiences, and content, all blending in exciting ways. First, we have technological convergence. This means merging different tools into one device. A great example? Smartphones. They're phones, but also cameras, music players, GPS devices, and mini-computers, all in your pocket. Next is industrial convergence. This is when media companies merge across sectors. Think about Disney, they've acquired Marvel, Lucasfilm, and 20th Century Fox. That's convergence at a corporate level, building massive cross-platform empires. Then, there's social convergence. This is all about the blurring line between producers and consumers. With YouTubers, TikTokers, and influencers, everyday people become major content creators. You don't need a big studio, just a phone and Wi-Fi. Finally, we have content convergence. Here, stories flow across multiple platforms. Take Marvel, you can follow its universe through comics, movies, and streaming series. The content isn't stuck in one place, it travels and connects. So that's media convergence, one concept, for dimensions, and countless ways our media world keeps blending and evolving. Now that we've covered convergence, let's look at its flip side, media divergence. Yes, even in a world where things come together, sometimes they also spread out. This is where platform proliferation comes in. While devices and content converge, more and more media platforms keep popping up. Think about it, we now have Netflix, Disney+, HBO Max for streaming, and social media niches like TikTok, LinkedIn, Twitch, and BeReal. Each one serves a different purpose, vibe, or audience. This fragmentation, or media divergence, challenges convergence. It's not all smooth sailing. On one hand, it creates great opportunities. Content creators can now target specialized audiences with unique interests. For example, a filmmaker might release a miniseries on YouTube while also sharing behind-the-scenes content on Instagram. But on the other hand, it also brings challenges, like subscription fatigue. With so many platforms, users can feel overwhelmed. Do I need another subscription just to watch one show? Sound familiar? So while media convergence brings things together, media divergence spreads them out, reminding us that the digital landscape is constantly shifting, sometimes united, sometimes divided. Let's dive into a classic concept in media theory, technological determinism. So, what is technological determinism? It's the idea that technology drives historical, social, and cultural change. In this view, technology moves forward in a straight line, and society just follows along. One of the key figures here is Marshall McLuhan, famous for saying the medium is the message. He believed that it's not the content that changes us, it's the technology itself. For example, TV didn't just bring shows into our homes, it reshaped how we see the world. Another voice is Kevin Kelly, who wrote What Technology Wants. He argued that technology evolves like a living organism, with its own goals and momentum. But here's where the conversation gets spicy, technological determinism gets a lot of criticism. Many scholars argue that it's way too simplistic. It ignores social, political, and economic factors that influence how and why technology develops. It makes it seem like humans have no control, like we're just passengers on the tech train. So while technological determinism gives us a powerful lens, it's important to remember, technology doesn't shape society on its own. People, cultures, and choices all play a part. Now let's explore the other side of the coin, social constructivism in technology. If technological determinism says technology shapes society, social constructivism says, hold on, society shapes technology, too. This starts with the social shaping of technology. It means that technologies aren't neutral, they reflect the social contexts and power structures where they are created. Think about facial recognition. It's not just about code, it's shaped by who designs it, what data they use, and what values they prioritize. Next, let's talk about technological momentum. Once a technology is widely adopted, it gains inertia, it's harder to change. But it's not unstoppable. Human decisions still matter. For example, fossil fuel cars had momentum, but society is now shifting toward electric vehicles through policy, innovation, and activism. And here's the key point: technological choices. There's never just one path. At any moment, we have multiple options, shaped by our needs, values, and social priorities. Do we invest in surveillance tech or privacy tools? Automation or human labor? These are social decisions, not just technical ones. So remember, technology isn't destiny. We help build it, shape it, and direct it. Let's bring our theories to life with a real-world case study: the mobile phone. First, let's look at technical development. Mobile phones have come a long way, from the bulky analog, brick phones of the 1980s to today's pocket-sized digital powerhouses. Today's smartphones are mini-computers, combining a camera, GPS, internet, and endless apps, all in one sleek device. Now, on to social adaptation. As mobile phones evolved, so did our behavior. It's now normal to be reachable 24/7, but that also means new expectations about availability. We've developed habits around privacy, like muting chats or using Do Not Disturb. And of course, mobile phones have reshaped how we manage our attention, with constant notifications pulling us in every direction. Finally, think about the cultural influence. Mobile phones have reshaped communication patterns. We text instead of call. We video chat across continents. We meet new people on dating apps and join movements via social media. Phones don't just connect us, they help define how we relate to one another. So when we look at mobile phones, we see it all: technical innovation, social shaping, and deep cultural impact. A perfect example of technology and society shaping each other. Welcome to the world of media ecologies. Think of media ecologies as interconnected systems where old and new media coexist, evolve, and influence each other. Let's start with traditional media, things like print newspapers, broadcast TV, and radio. They're still influential, but to stay relevant, they're adapting to digital. For example, many newspapers now publish online, and radio shows turn into podcasts. Next, we have digital platforms. These are our websites, apps, and streaming services. Platforms like Netflix or Spotify now dominate how we consume content, giving us on-demand access anytime, anywhere. Then there's social media, a game changer. Platforms like Facebook, Twitter, or X, Instagram, and TikTok have transformed audience participation. We're no longer just consuming content, we're creating it, sharing it, and shaping the conversation. And finally, mobile ecosystems. With smartphones and wearables like smartwatches, we're now always connected. These devices are location-aware, responsive, and personal. Whether it's checking news on your phone or tracking your steps with a watch, it's a full media experience in your pocket or on your wrist. So, in a media ecology, all these forms, traditional, digital, social, and mobile, interact and evolve together. It's an ecosystem, not a replacement system. Now let's explore one of the most influential thinkers in media theory, Marshall McLuhan. His ideas help us understand how media shapes our experience, not just what it says. First up is McLuhan's famous phrase, "The medium is the message." This means that the medium itself, whether it's TV, radio, or social media, matters more than the content. For example, watching a news clip on TikTok feels different from reading the same story in a newspaper. Why? Because the platform shapes how we understand the message. Next, McLuhan talked about hot versus cool media. Hot media, like films or radio, are high definition and give us lots of information. We just absorb. Cool media, like cartoons or phone calls, are low definition, so we have to participate more to make sense of the message. Think of it like this: watching a Marvel movie, hot, versus interpreting a meme, cool. Lastly, McLuhan introduced the idea of the global village. he predicted that new technologies, especially the internet, would connect people worldwide, instantly sharing information. And look at us now. With one tweet or video, we can reach the entire planet. That's the global village in action. McLuhan's work reminds us, media isn't just a tool, it's a powerful force that reshapes how we think, act, and connect. Now, let's dive into remediation theory, developed by J. David Bolter and Richard Grusin. This theory helps us understand how new media doesn't just replace old media, it borrows and transforms it. Think about it this way, when you watch a movie on Netflix, you're experiencing a form of remediation. Netflix remediates traditional cinema but also adds interactive menus, recommendations, and streaming. So new media incorporates older media while changing how we experience it. Remediation theory focuses on two key ideas, immediacy and hypermediacy. Immediacy is when new media tries to make the experience feel transparent, like you forget you're even using a medium. For example, virtual reality aims to immerse you fully, making the technology invisible. On the other hand, hypermediacy is when new media draws attention to itself as a medium. Think of a website with lots of windows, ads, and links all at once. You're very aware you're navigating a digital space. New media constantly balances these two, sometimes hiding the technology, immediacy, and sometimes showcasing it, hypermediacy. So, remediation theory helps us see that media is a conversation across time, old and new constantly interacting. Cool, right? Now, let's explore the superpowers of new media, its key affordances that make it so powerful and different from traditional media. First up, interactivity. Unlike old media where you just watch or listen, new media lets you talk back. Think about commenting on a YouTube video or chatting during a live stream. This two-way communication means users aren't just consumers, they become active participants. Next is the networked structure. New media lives in interconnected systems like the internet, where content can spread super fast, think viral videos or memes that explode across platforms. This networked nature creates huge opportunities for sharing and collaboration. Then we have modularity. Digital content is made up of small units or modules, like video clips, images, or text blocks, that can be easily rearranged, remixed, or reused. Imagine creating a new TikTok video by combining clips from different sources. That's modularity in action. Finally, compression. New media can shrink huge amounts of information into smaller files that are easier to store and send. That's why you can stream HD movies or download songs quickly without waiting forever. It's all about efficient data handling. So, these affordances, interactivity, network structure, modularity, and compression, are the building blocks that make new media dynamic, flexible, and super engaging. Let's talk about a fascinating concept, time-space compression, what digital media does to how we experience time and space. Basically, digital media compresses time and space by making communication instant and breaking down the limits of geography. Imagine chatting with a friend on the other side of the world in real time, no waiting days for letters or slow phone calls. Think of real-time video calls like Zoom or FaceTime, where you can see and talk to people instantly, as if they're right next to you. Or instant news updates that pop up on your phone from anywhere around the globe. Social media also plays a huge role. Platforms like Twitter or Instagram let information, photos, and videos spread worldwide in seconds, creating a connected global community. So, time-space compression means digital media shrinks the world, making communication and information flow faster and closer than ever before. It's like the world got a whole lot smaller, yet more connected. Now, let's dive into something super important in the digital world, the attention economy. Simply put, attention is currency online. Your attention, how long you watch, click, or scroll, is a limited resource. Platforms like Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok compete fiercely to get and keep your attention because it's what drives their success. To do this, they use engagement metrics, tools that track likes, shares, watch time, and clicks. These numbers help platforms understand what grabs your attention and keep you coming back for more. It's like a game of digital tag where your interaction matters a lot. Why all this focus on attention? Because attention is monetized mostly through advertising. The longer you stay, the more ads you see, and the more money platforms and creators make. So, your attention powers the whole digital economy. In short, the attention economy shows us that in new media, your attention is the real treasure. Platforms work hard to earn it, and understanding this helps you navigate the digital world smarter.